room's crazy.
Red. Cool. All right.
Change my mind. I'm gonna undo this. What's up?
You can unscrew this middle one and pull that whole pole out if you want to hold the pole like you did the original one, and then just pull the wire. Yeah, it should come out completely. Oh, now pull it out. Yeah, so now just slide.
That's fine.
Oh, man.
All right. Because this is bent a little bit.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It'll
If
just
you
hang
tighten
like
that
this.
again, it should just lock onto that. Hat on for this.
Yeah, I left my hat at home. One of those things I forgot.
Wallet, hat,
Yeah.
just left on a whim.
Yeah.
All right, and we're back.
What's up?
Back another week. What's good? And we're back to the original setup, slightly different lighting, keeping the overhead lights on today. But
Changed up a little bit.
yeah, we're back here in the original room. All right, making sure the audio is going. The camera's going to see if the audio stops before I am.
Yeah.
All right, we're cool and we're here.
What's
good?
up? What's up?
Nothing much. No real deep weekly recap for me this week. I'm gonna say about the same week. Yeah, just usual week. Next week will be interesting. We're gonna have to. Oh yeah, we might have to.
We might skip or.
Yeah, skip or might have to record another one another day this week.
Like later on in the week.
Yeah.
We'll get through a couple days. I mean, I can't unless we're gonna be here super late Friday and Saturday. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know, but we're here. The next episode, whether it's the next two episodes, should be interesting because I'm definitely gonna have some stories from going to Toronto. But
yeah, that's gonna be cool.
But yeah, we're here. Let me swap my coffee real quick.
Yeah, my week's been pretty normal. I mean, aside from work getting a little crazy, which not that important, but the rest of it's been about the same. I mean, we just had that massive snowstorm, so.
Yeah, we just had the massive snowstorm that, to me, it just felt like this is what I remember.
When we're kids.
Yeah, just snow.
But we were like so much smaller, so.
Yeah, so I guess, yeah. But like, it was like a foot of snow, but I don't know. I just feel like the hype from, the hype that the internet, like.
Yeah.
Like, made it seem like there was COVID happening again just with the snow. Like, I feel like we were about to be shut down.
Yeah,
but
well,
I mean,
a lot of places were saying anywhere from 6 inches to a foot and a half.
Yeah.
Or more.
You know, it was something crazy that Mom pointed out to me, which I after thinking about it, I kind of have like a rebuttal, but the snow, when you'd get snow, usually you could see the snowflakes. Like, you'd see like a snowflake. None of the snow was like snowflakes. Like, when I was shoveling my car, it's all just like beads, like circle beads of ice. None of it's like I didn't see a single actual snowflake. Well, conspiracy for it being fake snow.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. I think at least the last third of the snowfall was just ice.
Yeah, that's where I like, because it definitely did turn to just like you could hear it was ice, not like snowflakes.
Yeah, it was like pelt.
Yeah,
you know?
So like that was my rebuttal. But when she said it to me, we were talking about it, and then I went out to my car. Like, I was shoveling off my car, and I was like, yeah, it definitely is. Like, it's not like snow. Like, you couldn't like pack it together to snowballs. It definitely was just like beads of ice.
Yeah, I think the snowflake kind of needs certain requirements met. Like, the wind can't be too crazy. I think that it depends on like the precipitation, and it depends on like how much I guess moisture's in the atmosphere before it starts to snow. Because I think I'm not a meteorologist, but I would assume that with more harsh weather conditions, because snowflakes are tiny and they're delicate.
Yeah.
Right. So they kind of clump together, and then I think as the snow falls, it turns to like the little ice balls that we were getting at the end of the storm. Maybe like if it starts to melt and then freezes again, would be my guess.
Yeah, I think it's fake snow.
It could be.
Big snow, just needed more snow.
Yeah.
Their PR was down, so they had to.
I was actually thinking about that on the way here. Big snow up here.
I mean, yeah, they look at the way the internet made it seem. I don't know. It had a big PR campaign for this snowstorm. They had everybody and their mother making videos and talking about this snowstorm. My one friend, he posted a video. He was at the grocery store, and this guy in front of him had a shopping cart full of gallons of milk, like he was about to be locked away for months. Like, and even Mom was showing me pictures when she went to the grocery store. Like, everything was cleared out.
Gone.
Like, they really like prepped. Like, this was gonna be, we're locked in for days. And meanwhile, next day, I just drove here fine.
Yeah,
but
the roads were pretty empty. I'll say when I was coming up, I would assume this was the same for you when you were coming up. I think pretty much nobody did anything yesterday in terms of like clearing out the snow, and I think today there was a lot of like when I went out to start shoveling at like I don't know maybe 10:30, it's probably like 11 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody on our street and everybody down the side street, they were out shoveling their cars.
Yeah, they did it today instead of versus. I mean, because I went late last night, so
yeah, it probably went to like 8, 9, 10 ish. I think I still heard pellets when I was winding down, but it's kind of crazy.
But yeah, so I mean, I guess because that's like the rough. That was like the biggest thing that happened this week.
Yeah.
We could jump into like our first topic that we.
Oh wait. First, before we get into that, you just finished Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of funny that you did because they just announced the next arc is gonna be made and released.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So
you just caught up to the end of Super, and now they're gonna.
Oh, the next arc will connect from Super because because I know there's stuff they've made since Super, but it's not like GT. Like I have no idea.
Well, GT came out forever ago.
Oh, okay.
GT came out after Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, okay.
And I don't think it was. I don't think the director or somebody who was like very important to the creation of Dragon Ball Z was directly involved with GT.
Oh,
so it was kind of like a spinoff.
Oh, okay.
And until Super came and then they canonized Super, GT was like semi-canon. But then when Super came out, GT kind of became non-canon because I think a lot of events don't line up properly.
Oh, okay.
Because like in GT, spoilers, Goku unlocks Super Saiyan 4. But then Super, he doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
But mind you, Super happens before the time GT happens because if you look at Trunks' age, you can kind of... and Pam.
Okay, you can base it off of...
But then if that's the case and GT's after Super, in Super, Goku unlocks Super Saiyan God. They all unlock Super Saiyan Blue. He goes Ultra Instinct. And none of that is in... You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay.
So I think technically GT is non-canon and Super is canon. But if you follow the manga, the Super stuff happens, and then there are chapters after Super. I think there are 3 or 4 arcs after Super that never got
like
animated.
Yeah, into the animate. Yeah,
and people wanted them for a long time, and it literally just got announced maybe 3 days ago.
Wow,
the next arc.
Perfect. Yeah, so I got it. All right, so yeah, I was right on time.
They also announced that they're apparently redoing the Beerus movie again, which I think is a bad move.
I never watched the Beerus one. The only movie I watched was the Broly movie.
Yeah, and then that movie, and then the superheroes movie.
I didn't watch that one either. Yeah, because when I looked up what to watch after Super, they said Broly and the superheroes movie.
Yeah, I would watch those 2 because you don't need to watch the Beerus movie because when they released the Beerus movie and then they released Super, and the first like 8 episodes of Super are a retelling of the movie. It's almost a 1-for-1. There are a couple things that aren't the same, but it's like the same thing.
Oh, interesting.
But I heard that they're gonna redo that movie again, which they'll make it look nice and pretty.
Yeah.
But I think that there's no point. I think it's like just like a cash grab almost.
Yeah.
Or maybe to get hype around whatever. But I thought that they were gonna redo Super or parts of Super to incorporate those 2 movies, Broly and the superheroes movie, the superheroes movie, which would be really cool and smart because they do stuff in those movies that isn't it. Like obviously it happens after Super, after the tournament of power,
yeah.
Which kind of will lead into the next arc. But this next arc is supposed to be really, really good. People really, really like the manga of it.
Okay.
I don't remember the main character's the main villain's name. I know what he looks like, but he's supposed to be like uber strong. And now we're gonna get into like. Because Goku was unlocking Ultra Instinct. Now he's going to start to master that. And then Vegeta will probably end up getting his ability at some point. His next.
Yeah, it's crazy how they're just now doing like quote-unquote new stuff or incorporating that after like Super was how long ago? Like
I think it ended in...
Like way before, like at least 10 years?
No, Super wasn't 10 years ago.
Oh, really?
Super was more like 5 years ago.
Oh, wow, okay. I didn't even...
Because GT was like 20 years ago. And Super dropped 10 or 15 years after that.
Interesting. And then the Broly movie that
came out recently.
That came out recently because I feel like in the beginning it looked a lot older, and then
you're talking about the one where Broly has the big fluffy green pet thing.
Yeah.
That's a new movie.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
Because they've introduced Broly in other movies.
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't
because
think
they
he's
definitely
ever
do
been-
reference the tournament right in the beginning.
Yeah.
Because Goku's and Vegeta's literally saying, like, the tournament just ended and you're already,
because they've
Interesting.
had other movies. I think, again, I don't know for sure, but I think a lot of the movies are non-canon because they never get referenced in the shows.
Yeah, okay.
The movies reference the shows, but I think the shows never reference the movies. And they've had a couple of Broly movies in the past, but when they made this one, they kind of changed the character a little bit and they made him a little bit more human as opposed to like they humanized him. They did because he was always just like this mindless,
Powerful thing.
powerful, infinite power, obsessed with fighting type of guy. They made him a little bit smaller because he was like this huge.
I feel like I did watch a
massive-
Broly movie before that.
When we were little, we had a Dragon Ball Z Bio Broly movie, which is it wasn't really Broly. It was like a scientist was trying to create a clone of Broly or something.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And Goten and Trunks were in it, and they were like the main characters. And Broly ends up the experiment like fails, and then he like becomes this giant goo monster of some sort.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
If you saw pieces of it, you'd probably recognize.
Yeah, because it
it'll-
sounds familiar. Yeah.
But this one was cool because they like really introduced Broly, and they give him more of the backstory.
Yeah, like you actually got the back, and it's cool because you actually saw more of the planet that they all came from and how they were like correlated. You saw Vegeta as a baby and like then Broly as a baby and him getting sent away. So
yeah, I thought that was a good movie. Again, me and Chris saw that one in the theaters, and then the superheroes movie wasn't bad. I thought it was pretty good actually.
What's the plot to the superheroes one?
I
like it interesting because superheroes, but
it revolves Gohan and Piccolo more than Goku and Vegeta. And they bring back the Red Ribbon Army from Dragon Ball. And like they made the androids and stuff.
Yeah.
So then it's been a little while since I watched it. And I don't want to give too much away from what I can remember, but the Red Ribbon Army comes back and they make a couple more androids or something.
Okay.
And they're like really, really powerful. And Gohan is Saiyaman.
Yeah.
So he's a superhero.
Oh,
in the
that's
world.
right. Yeah.
So I think they lean into the superhero stuff. But
okay.
then two of the androids, I think they're androids, two of the more main antagonists of the movie, I think they are portrayed as superheroes in the beginning of the movie.
Okay.
So that's like the whole superheroes thing.
Okay. I see how that. Yeah.
But
yeah.
then,
I forgot all about Saiyaman. That was like a huge. Yeah.
But then they bring back another Dragon Ball Z character, which I won't go into spoilers for this. I think it's just cool to watch it. As like the big bad at the end, and then they do a lot of emphasis on Gohan and Piccolo because they use Gohan's daughter Pam as like the damsel in distress for a portion of it. It's got a lot of cutesy moments in it where it's because like Piccolo ended up becoming like an uncle. You know what I mean? To Gohan's kid.
Yeah, for a while, yeah.
He's like the babysitter, which is funny.
Yeah, that was a funny like little arc to watch. Like him get humanized by becoming like this, like
from being the Demon King in Dragon Ball to being a nanny. But then they fight a thing and they fight a thing and blah blah blah.
Yeah. I started like this week. I started playing on the Switch, Dragon Ball Fighter Z. It's like they're like, so and like. The plot in that is the Red Ribbon Army comes back and they build the androids and there's like clones and stuff.
Yeah. That's the side scroller fighter.
Yeah.
I played that a little bit. Chris really liked that. They made a Dragon Ball Z Kakarot game, which is pretty much just Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, okay.
Shay was playing it for a while.
Oh, that's when he was playing. Okay,
he was playing Kakarot.
Okay.
I never finished it. I actually own it. I'm told it's amazing. People love that game. And then actually they just teased that they're working on another Dragon Ball game of some sort.
Interesting.
Project Age 1000 or something. But who knows? But I thought it was funny though that you just finished Super and they just announced the next arc.
They were waiting for me to finish so that they could roll the next thing out.
Apparently they were. But all right, you got a topic here?
Yeah, so we're gonna have to check in on that'll be something good to like kind of watch and like randomly update because that's something we can actually watch.
That and
then watch it in real time because now that I'm caught up.
That would be cool.
But yeah, to pivot into a nice talking point. So like everyone has moments that has changed them forever. Like you're one person and then like this dramatic thing and like I feel like we've referenced the big one in our lives between both of us a lot. But yeah, everyone has like a moment that changed them forever. So I kind of wanted to, yeah, like talk about moments in each of our lives that like shifted us, whether it is like big things like our dad passing or just like smaller things like in each other's lives that sort of like shifted. It doesn't have to be like as crazy big things like losing a parent or just like little moments. Because I went, as you were sitting thinking about it, I have a couple just like big pivotal points in my life that definitely shifted like how I operated. So I kind of want to go in on that of like moments in life that changed us.
Yeah, I have obviously the big one, and then a couple of things that happened around there, and then I know I have another that was a fair big one, which I have mentioned in previous episodes. I'm sure there's a couple other ones that might come to mind as I talk through some of this, but would you like to start?
Yeah, I mean, I'm like.
We can go back and forth,
yeah.
tit for tat.
I mean, yeah, I definitely don't like. Some of them are more just like the first one that would come to mind is just when I got my first webcam in 2012. Because like that is the point that moment is probably the biggest pivotal moment in my life because that led to all of this. Just like getting that webcam because I was always into YouTube and then got the first webcam and it like the first time I made videos and I was like, oh, this is cool. Like that, there's not much to like dive in on that one because it's just pretty straightforward getting that webcam and then that got me sparked on like liking to make videos and talking to a camera. And I was actually just talking to Cam and Jose about because they were talking about content and like I've been on this crazy push for content on my Instagram the last like month or so, like multiple posts a day, and they were saying like how I'm really good at talking on camera, and I was like it brought me back to like I started making videos talking to a camera where like they started making videos sort of like what we do now, like shooting videos.
Yeah.
And like I started making videos kind of doing this, like just me speaking to a camera. So like I have way more practice in this form of videos than even what I do professionally now, shooting for other people. But like that's probably the biggest pivotal moment in my life that I could think to would be getting the first camera, get first webcam. I mean, I can remember almost every camera since that one, and then I got a flip camera, which I don't remember now, which I don't have now. But then the second, this is actually the first like handheld camera I ever got. I still have it to this day. So I mean, I have to charge to see if it still works, but like this is the first camera that I actually had that like I could take out and like do stuff with, and like actually film stuff. So it's pretty cool to actually I wish I still had that technical first camera I had to hold, but like this is like the first like to me this was like a giant camera at the time, because the screen popped out. But
it was a big moment. Yeah, now you're onto these crazy things.
Yeah, so now we're on to like this is the most recent camera that we're using, but.
Yeah, I could definitely see why that's a big pivotal moment for you.
Yeah, that one, yeah, because I could vividly remember sitting in my room, like what the room looked like. Like I can remember what the webcam looked like. It was a Logitech. I don't know specifics, but.
Okay, I think if you started early, I'll start a little early. There's three that stand out to me, and. Like you with your passion, I'll stick with where my passion kind of comes from. The first one, the earliest one, is when we were real little. I don't remember the day it happened, but I remember the use of it, following it, is when Chris brought the Nintendo 64 to our house for the first time and gave it to us.
Oh, we got our Nintendo 64 from Chris? Because I could vividly remember. Actually, I didn't bring it. I just found, I was going to bring it at the end of the shelf. I found our original Majora's Mask.
Oh, the gold case.
I have that still.
Yeah, you should bring that and put it in.
Yeah,
there.
I wanted to put it on the shelf. I have it. It's at Mom's house.
I vaguely remember him bringing it. I think he got a new console. It might have been a PlayStation. It might have been the PlayStation 2 or something.
Yeah, because I feel like it was around that time.
And then he came to the house for whatever reason. But then he brought a box, and it had the Nintendo 64, and it had a bunch of games.
Yeah.
And then we set up in the basement on a little TV. And we were young. We were, like, really young. And we weren't allowed to play games for very long because, we were young. And Mom and Dad wanted to make sure we didn't fry our brains or whatever.
Good luck now.
Yeah. Now look at us. We both stare at screens for 12 hours a day.
Yeah, it's my job now. You can't tell me to not look at a screen.
But that was kind of early pivotal because that was like a really deep dive
Yeah.
into video games. Because like we obviously got the Majora's Mask.
I can
and
vividly
then
remember.
We got a wrestling game.
I remember the Super Smash Bros. The 64 version.
Super
I
Smash
can picture
Bros.
the cover of that card. Those are the only ones I remember. Is like there was a WWE game, Mario.
Mario Kart.
Yeah, Mario Kart, and then Majora's Mask. Those are the only ones.
There might have
feel
been.
like
There was a Tony Hawk one he gave us.
A Samus or
I don't think we ended up with a Metroid game.
okay.
I don't remember all of them. But
Maybe
there
I'm
was
just thinking of him from Super Smash then.
well,
Yeah.
her.
Oh, her. Oh,
Samus the girl.
I never played any other games. So yeah, I guess we didn't have one because I don't.
I don't think we got a Metroid game. We had a blue cartridge, which was a Tony Hawk game. We had Majora's Mask. We had Smash Bros. We had the wrestling game. We had another fighting game of some sort, I think, maybe. But I don't remember anything else because we pretty much only played those ones.
Yeah.
But then also with the 64, the Majora's Mask, can have 3 saves. And Chris had a completed save. And I deleted his save.
I feel like that's something. I mean, I guess you could still experience that now, but not like with the way everything
Not
saves
like
now.
that.
It's not. Yeah, like that is like a.
I was little, and because he didn't live with us, so he dropped it off, blah, blah, blah. And then he left. And then I was like fucking around with it. And I saved over his or whatever. I don't remember. I was like 9 maybe, if that, 7. Because I remember him coming back and being really mad that it was gone. Because if I was like, say I was 7, he was like 17.
Yeah.
And at the time, like there wasn't like crazy games like it is now.
Yeah.
So that was a big deal.
Yeah, that was
And he put a lot of time into that. So there was that one, and then the other 2 that stand out are. I just had them. Video game related, obviously. It was a Nintendo 64, and then it was. They're gone now.
One of it's not like pivotal like changing me one, but one of my core memories is
Good.
is we've talked about it before. You getting Kingdom Hearts for your birthday.
That
and
was going to
playing
be
it
one of them.
for like a day
Yep.
straight. Yeah, like that like the memory of that is burned into my mind, and like I still to this day like. I enjoy watching people play games almost more than I like playing them myself, and I think it like stems from like I would just watch you play games. I enjoy I'll watch people play like playthroughs of games now more than I will play the game myself.
Yeah, that's so funny because that was actually one of the 2.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was the Kingdom Hearts. It was for my whatever birthday it was. Sat down and played pretty much the whole game.
That's like deep lore in my life. Remembering like you getting it and then playing it nonstop to completion.
And then the other one was it's not like a specific memory because I don't remember exactly what was happening, but I can remember like parts of it. It was sometime after you got your bedroom and I got my room instead of us sleeping in the same room.
Yeah.
And Chris was at the house again. A lot of this revolves around Chris because he was kind of the introduction for video games for me. And he was staying at the house for the night or for a weekend or something. And he was in my room. I don't know if he slept in my room or what, but I had a bunk bed. I had the top bunk. And I was supposed to be asleep and he was playing something. I want to say it was Final Fantasy X. I think it was a PlayStation game. It was PlayStation 2. I want to say it was Final Fantasy X, but he was the lights were out because I was supposed to be asleep. It was late. He was sitting on the ground playing it in front of the TV. I hope I'm not misremembering this, because I feel like it doesn't match the layout of the room. But anyways, I feel like this happened. But I remember like looking over the side of the bed to watch him play because I wanted to watch because like the visuals were cool.
Yeah.
Like I still to this day really like Final Fantasy X. I never finished it, which I have to, but like the aesthetics are cool, the characters look cool. It's a big pivotal Final Fantasy game.
Yeah.
So those are the 3 early ones that kind of match with
it's like introduce you into like your
hobbies and interests.
Yeah, I can like you playing Kingdom Hearts to nonstop was like such a like that's just like burned in my mind. The 64, that's like the only system I really probably because it was like the first games like system we had like I could kind of remember the GameCube but not like any like moments from it, and like that's like the only system I really to this day like have like vivid memories of was the Nintendo 64. I also think it's like one of the cooler Like after that, it all switched to just discs. Like,
Yeah.
but that, like something about it being a cartridge you put in on top, and you still see the like. It was just like
Yeah. A lot of the early systems were cartridge based.
Yeah, that I think that's so cool because like even now going back to collecting the actual discs of like having the physical media of that is really cool to me, like the actual cartridge, and like I'm glad I found that the Majora's Mask the cartridge and I still have it. But to pivot to the next one that I had, let me see if I can put these in order. Yeah, I think these are kind of in order.
They can be out of order.
It would be living in Philly for college. Not necessarily like going to college. Like I can remember that, but like I can remember just being there and it shifting sort of like I don't know specifically like because it was the first time I was fully on my own, like living completely on my own apart from like living with mom or anybody. And just like the shift in. Like, that's where I really, like, shifted my perspective of, like, oh, I'm going to take this career path seriously and, like, do something with it and getting, the experience of just being on my own, like, oh, I could, like, obviously before, like, oh, you could stay up to whatever, but, like, oh, I got to, like, actually figure out a schedule and, like, manage a life on my own.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that was definitely, like one of the bigger shifts on, like, because like that was the shift where I was like, okay, I'm gonna really take this thing seriously, and like that's where I committed to like, oh, I'm gonna like make this a business, and like I don't want to do anything else besides this. Was living because like I can when I like the first dorm, and then when I had my second dorm where it was just because the second dorm ended up just being me, because like I had a roommate.
That's right.
Yeah, because the first year. The first year, it was me and two other people living in like a studio apartment. Like we had the one room that was our living room, our bedroom, all three of our beds, and then we had a bathroom and a kitchen. But then my second dorm was supposed to be me and one other guy, and we had like the common space and then one detached room. But like a month or two in, he dropped out of school. So for like the 2 semesters or 1 or 2 semesters I was still there, it was just me in a full apartment myself because I had a bedroom and then the common room became just a living room and then the kitchen.
Yeah.
And I can remember being there like, oh yeah, like this is the point where like it shifted to like, now I'm going to like, however this is going to, like I'm going to figure this out and make this work. But yeah, like that was like, I feel like going to college and stuff is probably a pivotal moment for like most people. But yeah, I can remember that was like where I shifted to like, oh yeah, this is going to be I'm going to do this, whether I end up broke and I'm just doing this broke or I'm going to make it work.
Yeah, I completely forgot that you were by yourself in Philly for a little while.
Yeah, that was it. Like as I get older now, I think back to like
I can remember that apartment.
Yeah,
I was there one time, I think.
Yeah, twice. Yeah, because you probably helped me move in and then probably helped move out. But yeah, I look back at it now and I'm like, damn, part of me wishes I would have finished the school just for like how cool it was to get to live in Center City, Philly. Like an apartment that nice in that area would be OD expensive because it was right in like literally a block or two away from City Hall, like right in like the coolest area, and then also being surrounded by like other creatives. Like it was really cool to, because like now I'm obviously surrounded by the creatives, but out of my own will I have to like communicate versus like that was just like I'm just around creatives and different kind of creatives like just being in school. So it would have been cool to like get 2 more years of that. Like obviously I don't regret the decision to leave, but just now it'd be cool to like, it was just a fun time. And like it's like I catch myself in like the cliche thing of like, oh, looking back on those were the days. Like me and Dejan talk a lot about it, about like just how unique and cool that was. And although I didn't get like the normal college experience, like I talked to other people who like went to college, like they got the atypical like living on a campus. Like I didn't get the campus experience because it was in a city, and I didn't have like actual classes. Like all the classes were art based, but yeah, that going to like going to that school and like that experience was definitely like the pivotal moment for wave change, I would say.
I'd agree with that. Yeah, I guess the next one that I've got, going in chronological order, and you jumped a ton of years, I'm going to jump a ton of years.
Yeah, I was going to say because
nothing happened.
There was just a lot of videos for me, and that was about it in school.
The next one that really sticks out to me is when I got my concussion in Vermont the 1 year, and that one is like a big moment for me because It was like the first time like you broke your leg when you were young, and then you broke
Yeah,
your.
it's funny how that's not even on the list of.
Well, you
like,
don't even remember it.
yeah, that didn't change me.
I feel like it had a mental impact on me following it
Mm-hmm.
for like a couple years. Not in the sense that like I was in pain or like something more physical, but it was more of a mental thing because I definitely felt the personality shift right afterwards. There was a bit of confusion in my head for a while because like I it's an experience that I can't even describe really well. It's almost like waking up and like waking up in the morning, but you didn't go to sleep.
Interesting.
It's
Yeah.
weird because
Yeah,
like
yeah, cause you don't don't have memories from like
mm-mm.
obviously being like you got knocked out like for
Yeah,
like but
yeah.
yeah like I never had an experience like
It, it it like shifted how I operate just
mhm.
like in life a little bit. I think it made me not more cautious, but um, I'm more like not precise, but like I'm really deliberate with what I say and what I do. Um, I think it kind of like triggered something in me where not like I realized that my life is finite or whatever,
Mhm.
but it was more of like there was like a lot of uneasiness, a lot of uncertainty about
Mm.
myself within myself following that.
Mm.
So I think I kind of like thought more. You know what I mean? I
Mhm.
took more time to like think about things, and I was already like a big thinker, and I would talk to those that I talked about. I talk deeply about things, but I think after that, it got a little bit more so. Like I took a little bit more time to piece things together and like articulate well and things like that. But a lot of it I think stemmed from the fogginess of it, and then also the fear of not being who I was, like being a totally different person.
Mhm.
And because I can recall like internally battling with like interacting with people that I've known and not being the person that they recall.
Yeah,
So
okay.
like unsure of how to go about having interactions with certain people. Because like I don't think I changed entirely, but I think some things took a shift in my head. A lot of them were like minor in terms of like what they were, but I think they had like a more profound um, outcome to them. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So like my thinking shifted slightly, but it like rippled outwards like bigger. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, I see what you're
Um,
saying.
so like that stands out a lot. I think a lot of it does come from the fear of not being who I was, and I again I struggled with that for a little while, and then as time had passed and more things happened in my life, I kind of grew to not understand but like accept it more, and I like found who I was again, for lack of better terms. Because I didn't really change too much. I probably became a little bit more introverted than extroverted. I don't think I was an extrovert by any means, but I think I was a little bit more outgoing before. But I think now I'm more like secure and with who I am.
Mhm.
Um, Whereas before, I think it was more of like a facade. Like I knew, but like
Yeah.
not really. So it shook me kind of to my core to make me sit down and really figure it out. Because
Yeah.
again, a lot of the months and even years following, a lot of my time when I wasn't with anybody was like stressing out over interactions I would have with people, whether it's someone I knew for not a long time, all the way up through like interacting with mom. Like
Mhm.
my interactions and what I'm gonna say and like how I feel about certain topics, from what I could gather, didn't really line up the way that how I used to be.
Mhm.
So like I felt weird having a different opinion or outcome to what I used to have, and then whoever I was interacting with being like, that's not.
Yeah, that's not like the.
And
yeah.
then I'd have to try and explain it to them, and then they'd think I'm crazy, or like I really didn't want to like go and get my head looked at anymore.
Yeah.
So like I never expressed this to anybody really. I never like brought it up to mom or anything, or none of that. Now I'm fine. So like, you're not gonna take me to the doctor now.
Yeah.
That happened like a lot of years ago, but that stands out a lot because like that was kind of crazy, and I don't recall it firsthand. A lot of my recollection of the event kind of comes from what you told me because you found me, and then obviously what mom told me and Jeff told me and everything because we were on. It was the first day on the mountain.
Yeah.
We stopped for lunch, and then we went up the one lift, and then I barely remember being in to eat food, and I don't remember anything else. I barely remember that morning, but apparently we went up to the top of that lift, took a group photo. Don't remember that. And then Jeff was like, I'll get to the bottom faster than you or something. I don't think I initiated it. I think Jeff initiated the race.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, all right, bet. And then we started going, and I was ahead of him, and I was almost to the bottom. And then he passed me, and when he passed me, I guess it like threw me off, and I like looked, and my foot caught the snow, and I fell, and he's down ahead of me, so he doesn't see me fall. And up the mountain, it was a bend, and I was around the bend, and you and everybody else were on the top of the bend.
Yeah.
And I guess I fell really bad, and then you were the next one to come down, so you saw me laying in the snow, and then everybody else came down, and then Jeff went up and came down, and one random dude on the ski lift who was going up the ski lift saw me fall, so he came around.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He came around and was like, I don't know because I don't remember, but from what I remember being told, the guy thought I broke my neck because of the way that I fell.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then I got up. My goggles were down. There was blood in the goggles. We went down to where we ate lunch. I sat there for a while. You kept going up and down with them. You came and checked on me 2 or 3 times. And our room that year was like right next to where we were
it was
eating.
on that, but yeah.
So then I went to the room, and then I like hung out there for a little while, and then you came to the room, and then mom came, and then I don't recall how the rest of that played out, but then when you guys finished skiing for the day, everybody was at the unit, and mom was asking me questions or something, and I was not answering well. So then they took me to ski patrol, and then they said take him to the hospital, and then I can vaguely remember being in the hospital. I don't remember being in ski patrol. I don't recall it firsthand, but what was funny there is when the guy asked me what day it was, I just laughed in his face.
Oh, yeah, I remember hearing mom saying that, yeah.
I didn't recall that dad had moved already by that time.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Because that was one of the questions mom asked. It was like, hey, where's dad live? And I said he lives here in Jersey still when he was already gone. And they took me to the hospital. And then I can vaguely start to recall a little bit. My memory starts getting less fuzzy. Because it was me, Billy, mom, and Jeff might have come. And I was in the gown. And then the doctor came in. He was asked questions, took medicine or whatever. And then he like sent me home. And then they were like, just check on him every 3 hours.
Yeah, I remember mom like constantly waking you up or like constantly asking you questions. Like I remember her being on the phone with whoever, and like being like asking questions. Her constantly asking questions, and you just getting tight because you either kept getting woken up, or like just kept having to ask you these questions over and over, and like you just getting angry at it. Like I can remember that.
She only asked me for one night because she woke me up, I think 3 times. And the third time, as soon as I woke up, I just started answering the questions preemptively because I was just tired of being woken up. And she was like, I guess he's okay. And then just let me be. But then I didn't go on the mountain the rest of the
the whole rest of the week,
But that one really stands out because that's big. That was a pretty bad concussion too. I think the doctor said it was mild to severe. But yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting how like the physical things can have like it shifts your like personality, like the way you think.
Mm-hmm.
Like, interesting.
Yeah, I got one more, but your turn if you.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I guess going off of connecting it, like the living in Philly was dropping out of college. Like that was a very I obviously like that like I was taking the business seriously, and that was the shift. But like internally, it was a big shift for like it was like to add on to I went to the college, and being in college made me all right. I want to take this thing seriously, and then deciding like really because I can remember being in the dorm and like deciding like going back and forth like damn I want to drop out, like I want to take this seriously, and being so overwhelmed with like trying to do school and trying to do this but not wanting to stop doing this for school or vice versa, and like struggling with it. And then finally when I decided, and then having to tell mom, which I thought was going to be a lot bigger deal than it ended up being. Like I thought like, oh, telling mom I'm going to drop out of school, this is like going to be very difficult. But she was actually very like, from what I can remember, she might see it different, but she was very supportive of it, because I didn't just be like, I want to drop out and do nothing. It was like, I want to drop out for these reasons. Like, this is what I'm going to do. Yeah, and like that was a big shift for, like, now I need to take this thing really seriously and make it work, versus like, yeah, I'm going to take this thing serious. It was like, okay, now, like, we got to go all in on this, because now I put it on the line of, like, I'm dropping out of school. Like, yeah, I can go back, but, like, I'm really committed to it. That was a huge shift. And then, like, I can remember being almost feeling like I let mom down by dropping out, because, like, I'm her first kid to go to college, and, like, I can remember her being all excited for me being there, being so happy, and then feeling like I let her down by deciding to drop out and, like, sort of shift everything. But yeah, I mean, look how it turned out now. So I guess it was the right decision, because I have a lot of friends who stayed the 4 years, and like they're not pursuing careers in what they were going for. So I guess it worked out. But yeah, that was definitely a huge shift for, like, there's like no turning back. Almost like I think David Goggins says it, like burning the boats. Like land the boat and then burn the boat, so you don't have the option to turn back. Like when I was trying to balance both, I could always rely back on, oh, like I'll focus on school, or like this thing will work out, but like making that decision and actually leaving school was like burning the boat of like, this has to work. There's no other option. Like, and like kind of setting that precedent. I've kind of taken that viewpoint of like burn the boats ever since then, of like, just do whatever, like make that decision, do the thing that's kind of like there's no turn back, because like when you're back against the wall, it really like forces you to push forward on whatever, and like kind of taking that not having a safety net viewpoint on to this day. But yeah, there's not like super in, like most of these things don't have super in depth like the concussion did, but yeah, that was like the next, from college, that was like the next pivotal thing I can vividly remember, and like shifted like how I operated, how I viewed things.
Yeah, my next one jumps again a couple years, and it's really like the last big one that I can recall. I'm obviously skipping the dad one because we've talked about it enough.
Yeah, because that was the next one on my list, but it wasn't really. I was
you
playing.
You could talk about it.
I mean, there's not like maybe you can. But go ahead.
And then I'm sure there's other things that I missed or skipped over, for one reason or another. But the last one that is like really big and that really stands out to me was going and working at the tattoo shop. That one was big for me for a couple of reasons. It's like one big reason that kind of happened over the course of me being there, and then the initial big, not really big, but the initial reason, the initial thing that stood out to me was I started working there. My first day was the day after Dad died, because I was talking to Joe before, and because I was starting to get tattooed by him, and we picked a start day for me to come in and start working for him, and then Dad died, and I texted him like that night, and I was like, hey, I don't remember what I said. I was like, hey, just so you know, like, Dad just died. I'll be in tomorrow, but you know, I might be a little bit weird and off. And then he told me, don't come in. He said, take a couple days, come in next week or whatever, you know, because, you know, parents died. But I was very adamant on, no, I'm going to come in. It's like not important to me, but like I understand and I respect the needing some type of something to break the.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like it was like important to me to go in so that I can process and not run away from or hide from, but like distract myself temporarily.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I see value in not just like dwelling on the thing because it's
Mm-hmm.
super easy to get like have that like moment of like processing and dwelling, get it super extended, and it sort of like consumes your life.
Yeah.
Like like it's probably more extreme the other side, but I'm like, yeah, just keep your the system going or whatever
Mm-hmm.
however you live, or keep that going so you don't get like super caught up in that, and I like not in a negative way of like don't like hide from it, run away from it, or don't process a thing, but don't get caught up in the negative of it. Like don't let that become your whole personality or become like the what's holding you back.
Yeah, that was kind of the mindset for why I did go in like the next day. I like that was the day we picked before. Like I'll stick to my word, but then pretty much exactly that. But then it was pivotal. Like it was a pivotal moment for me because that was the business that Dad had owned.
Mm.
Um, it was just a different name and a different owner now. So like it was like I was still kind of close to Dad, because I wouldn't say tattooing by any means was a hobby of his because he wasn't doing it,
Yeah.
and he wasn't getting tattooed really until he was mid 40s or
Yeah.
something like that, late 40s, mid 40s, something like that, and then he was covered. So like the getting tattooed part was cool, but being at the shop that the business that they owned and blah
Yeah.
blah blah. But then it slowly transitioned into like a bigger thing for me mentally, which is like what really kind of started to cultivate my now personality, which was the couple experiences that I had at the shop mixed with the people there. So like as a whole, the experience really kind of shaped a lot of things for me, because I started a big internal journey within myself to really figure out who I'm going to be as an adult now.
Mm-hmm.
Like with spiritual stuff and then with non-spiritual stuff, like mentally and then even physically to a degree, and then economically, politically, blah 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 blah, like the whole nine. Because I had a good group of people there who were like pretty diverse in their own ways. So I can get a lot of different opinions and points of views, and then the people that would come in, like the clients, talking to them and like kind of figuring that out, and then I slowly fell into my own person,
Yeah.
which I like fell in love with and just started building on that just immensely. So that was really big and important to me as who I am today. A lot of it I give to Dave, because once he came in and me and him started getting a little close, I started to learn a lot about myself and then a lot about other people through him.
Mm-hmm.
And then I give a lot to Danny because he's a little older than me. He's like between me and Dave. And he already kind of had himself together more or less, more than I did. So I got to look at him kind of like as an older brother figure of someone who's got it a little more together. And then just being able to have really open conversations about things, and it was very a judgment-free zone. So it was like one of the best environments I can even come up with. That I'm trying to find the perfect wording for this, but I'm not going to get it. It was like the perfect environment for growth, like personal individual growth, as long as you allowed for yourself to tap into that energy.
Yeah.
Because everybody was so open, and because everybody, as different as people were from one another, there was little to no judgment on anything. Everybody was very open-minded, and everybody was very respectful of one another. And it, like at the end of the day, regardless of what went down, everybody like hugged it out. Like we became a family pretty much. So that was very, 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 very big for me in my whole life. But very much so in my adult life now.
Yeah.
Because it like really transitioned me from a boy to a man. And it opened me up more because I would consider myself a pretty open-minded individual, but being there really helped me make that blossom because then that eventually transitioned into like going to church and like leaning into Christian stuff or like pursuing a passion now where like it really opened the door for me to do other things. And through the me working there, it like I ended up moving out and getting my own apartment and like a bunch of other things had happened because of this one life event. That's probably the most impactful present day in my opinion.
I would definitely say I saw the most like shift in you from that job. Like working there, like just growth and like that around that same time as I feel like when me and you actually really became friends apart from just being brothers. Like that's like you definitely seem to like open up more just like as a person and be more just like yourself publicly, like just as a person. So I would say that was like one of the more pivotal moments that I saw like just from the outside view.
It wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for those people. Again, primarily Dave and Danny. Like a lot of it was Dave because Dave was such an odd person. He was so out there, but I don't think I've ever met a person who was more themselves. Maybe not super comfortable with himself, but I've never met a person who was more themselves publicly and unapologetic for it. And witnessing that and then getting so close to that person allowed me to start doing that within myself. And we got really close. Like, dude lived at my house for like 8 months. You know? I love that dude. He's like we don't talk anymore. I don't think we'll ever talk anymore, but it's Gigi. He is hands down my favorite person in the whole world. Because like he's a little older than me. He's a little older than Chris, I think. Because Chris is 10 years older than me. Dave was like 12 years older than me.
Oh, okay,
or 13, because he just turned 40 or 41. But just like, because he was like a man-child, and he didn't have his shit together, but he did, you know? He had been through a couple marriages, he had a couple kids, he had like a career, and then he really knew who the fuck he was. And again, unapologetic about it. So that helped a lot. I really appreciate that. And I try to not mirror that or mimic that, but I allow that to influence me heavily to try and do that for other people when I can. So yeah, that's probably the biggest one for me.
Damn.
What a good time. What a good time. I miss that shop.
Yeah, it's like different like eras in life that like I can have pretty clear like different eras and like groups of people, and I try not to get like upset about like because like you just have to be okay with like times changing and just like different eras, like things always change, and that kind of pivots into the last point I had, the one that I can really remember. It was working with this the first team I really worked with when I was in Philly. It was like the first like creative team I worked with, because now I've worked with 3 or 4 like completely different teams in different places. But the first one was with this guy Jim Beans, who I'm still really close with to this day. But I can remember because it was right when I was still at college, and I was like really. It was before I like was like starting to think like I should leave or drop out of school and like really commit to this. But he was the first person that I met who was like big in the music industry, and then I can vividly remember like when he getting hit like when because he didn't hit me up directly, he hit me up through a friend I had, but then seemed like this name, looking him up on Instagram and saying like, oh, this is like somebody established. And then I can vividly remember when I first Ubered from my college dorm to his studio, which it was the first time I saw somebody. He had like a compound. It was 2 buildings. It was like they were gated off, the building in the front, a building in the back. It had one of the buildings, I think, had 2 or 3 studios in it. The back one had 1 big studio. And like I can remember the first time I went there, getting dropped off there, when he gave me the tour of it, and then just like kind of becoming a part of like doing the visuals for like his artist at the time. And it was like that era of, it was the first time I saw somebody who had like a creative compound. It was like his place. He would just had his studio, and they would just use this place to create things. And like they had rooms to stay upstairs from in one of the buildings. So like when the artists were in town, they would just be able to stay there and just create stuff. And then And like the first time I remember just going there and being in awe, like, wow, this is like possible. Like this is just a dude's place. Like he just has this and he from like creating, and it like really opened my eyes to like, oh, this is like possible. Like this is what I want. Just like a creative compound where just people can come and create stuff, and then growing that like that relationship with him, and then just spending. I think I would like at least once a week I was going there. I would just Uber there, and then I would spend a couple hours a day there just once a week. And yeah, it was just like such like my first time my eyes were open to like it was just about creating. Like we would just go there and it was like the outside world didn't exist. We were just inside this like compound.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like getting to create. Like, what do we work on today? This is the song. Like talking about ideas. Oh, we'll use it. Go in this room and shoot this thing. And that really like created the framework for what I'm trying to build here now with like this creative. I keep saying compound, but this creative like place where it's just like anything is possible and you can just create whatever. And just getting to see somebody who was established in the music industry, and it wasn't like anything other than just creating dope stuff. Like I still get inspired by him for like his just such emphasis on like caring about creativity and just making the coolest thing outside of anything. Like I don't remember him ever talking about like will this translate to will fans like this or will like this make money. It was always just like getting excited about this creative thing and trying to make it as best as we could. And yeah, like just the like, and then Eddie Harthrop, one of the artists I work with now, one of my close friends, like he was there, so it'd be like he'd be in this studio working on this thing, and I'd be over here shooting this thing, and it was just like this, like that is one of the times I always like one of the eras in my life I always look back with like, damn, like that was so cool, like, and I just try to now mimic that here and like try to create that because of how cool being like I was doing videos at the time for like had to have been like 5-ish years. But it was the first time like I had this look at like what it could be or like something deeper and like seeing how it was, and it's like I can remember that feeling as somebody who was relatively new to doing it, getting to see it and then just being given access to like what are your ideas? Let's just do it. Let's facilitate. And like it was the first person who again he was established, so it was like we'd have an idea and be like, all right, so we'll buy this thing for this idea, and being like, whoa, like we could just like bring ideas to life. Like, so now trying to like what he was for me then, trying to build something and be that for people like now and like in the future, like having this thing where it's like, what's your idea? Let's bring your idea to life. Here's this compound. What do we need? What do we use? And like, but yeah, cool. that was probably one of the more, and like he was one of the more like impactful people, and that whole like era was one of the more impactful times I would say like in my life and like in the creative journey of like building this, like seeing that and like again like his care for just making cool art. And like it is cool that we're still like we'll talk now. We'll get on the phone and talk like maybe once every 2 months, 3 months, and just kind of catch up. And we're trying to start doing stuff together, working together again. We've talked about a couple things we want to work on coming up, but yeah, that was like the most recent pivotal. And then kind of connecting that to I had it written down, but it wasn't like when I got my own first studio before this place, because I had a studio of my own, and then I left that one and joined another team, and then left that one, got the original studio back, and then gave that studio up for what I like committed here. And like I can remember when the first time I got my first studio, I can remember sitting in my car with the last month's rent, because you had to put the first month and then you have to give them like the security deposit for like the last month's rent. And I can remember sitting in my car holding, because I had it in cash, like holding it in cash. I think it might have been like the most cash I've ever had at one time. But like sitting in my car, like, wow, like this is crazy. Like I'm really about to like have a studio, like my own place. And it was like my first little glimpse of like, yeah, like this can work. Like from videos, from doing stuff I want to create, I can fund and now have this place that is just, and at the time it was like one room this size and another room like twice the size of this. It was just 2 rooms. But yeah, like that. And I can remember from being in the team with Jim and seeing that and then getting my own space and being like, okay, like, yeah, like this is possible. And now translating it now into like this place and like what we have now. Yeah, that was definitely like the most impactful like on the creative journey to me was meeting Jim and then seeing like what he was able to build from like his art and stuff.
That's a pretty good topic.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, those are definitely like the more pivotal like, breaking my leg, you'd think would be one, but I was so young, I don't remember
something like
that
that.
at all.
If you were older, because it didn't really have an impact on your life, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even like breaking your thumb, that didn't really change.
Yeah,
anything.
like none of the. Yeah, definitely. There's probably some random stuff just like the times I can remember staying the first time I snuck out of mom's house. I have a vivid memory of that. I wouldn't say that really changed me much, but I have a vivid memory of sneaking out, and I don't think it was the first time I snuck out. Mom caught me, I think after doing it for a while, but I can remember coming back, trying to sneak back in, and I snuck out the window. And then trying to come back, and I got to my window, and it was closed. I could see from across the fence that the window was closed, and I didn't close it. So as soon as I saw it closed, I was like, all right. And then she must have been close to that moment, because I remember seeing it close and being like, damn. And then a minute later, her calling me, and I'm just being like, I'm on the porch. You can unlock the front door. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not something I've ever done. I never really.
Yeah, I feel I got a couple of the classic sneaking out. I didn't really go to parties or anything, so I don't really have any your classic movie higher school party college parties. Even in college, I went to 2 parties in college, and it was there were house parties though, because again we were in the city. It wasn't college parties like that. It was just a Philly house party, which. It's pretty crazy to think just being on my own in Philly, then you're going to Philly house parties. But even at that time, it was different because I was there because I knew the DJ. I was filming a video for the DJ. I've never been to a party just to be a party. The only time I've done stuff like that is I was working it.
Yeah, I've never done anything like that. I mean, parties never really. I mean, I've had my own parties.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
going to parties never really intrigued me.
Yeah, I mean the one in it would have been middle. No, it's probably high school times. There was a while that with a group of my friends, we would go down to this. I don't even know. It was just this near a river, but it was just open on the sides, and we would just have giant bonfires.
That's cool.
I remember stealing pallets from behind a Walmart or something. We would load up his truck with 2 or 3 just pallets, and we would just stack the pallets and light them on fire, and just have a fire on the side of this. I can remember that.
Catching an arson charge.
Yeah, right? Yeah. At the time, it just seemed these are just pallets in the back here, and we'll just have a fire. It's just a fire. But now I look back, and I'm like, hey, we stole these pallets that were definitely not garbage. They were just pallets. Because even now, I go, the shipping place next to them, they just have the pallets they use.
Yeah, yeah.
And then
some dude was tight as hell.
Yeah, just because we would definitely see multiple pallets every time we would do it. Moments like that. I'm like, damn, that was such a cool core memory. That was damn, find ways to recreate that now. Obviously, without stealing pallets but yeah, those are good times. I don't do anything any fun stuff like that. I haven't done stuff that isn't shooting or now we do crazy stuff, but it's for videos. I don't have any crazy I don't really do much besides this stuff now.
Yeah, I don't really do anything. I go and hang out with friends and stuff, but nothing burning pallets.
Yeah. Also, the other thing I never thought about that time was it was definitely treated wood. It definitely wasn't good to be inhaling that.
Probably not.
Just 6 pallets of fire and just inhaling that. But hey, what are you gonna do? I'm all right now, so.
What are you gonna do?
But yeah, so and if we don't have any other, that's pretty good that we could leave this episode there. I kind of that was a good trend from the
How
first.
long is that? How long were we talking for? When did we start?
There's 18 minutes left on this.
So we've been talking probably for about an hour.
Yeah, about an hour.
Okay.
All right, cool. Last episode was on how memories operate, and this episode was kind of just
what memories we still have.
Yeah. How many do we still got?
Yeah. Yeah, this one was a cool topic.
Yeah, and it's cool just kind of like we said last episode, have these sort of documented and locked in for future reference.
Yeah.
When I just leave this to my kids one day and it's all the stuff I don't remember when I'm 60, it's you can
go check it out.
Watch this, then you could tell me, my kids can tell me about when you did this thing. It's oh, I did that thing?
I did that thing.
All right. All right, cool. But yeah, that's I think episode 17. All right. Until next week.
Next if we get an episode out next week. Next episode will be adults though.
Oh yeah.
We got our permits last episode.
Oh yeah. We'll
Next
finally,
episode, we're 18.
Nice. Finally get arrested next episode.
A couple episodes we can drink.
Yeah.
And a couple after that, we can rent a car.
Oh, look at us. You're watching us grow up in real time.
Yeah.
But all right, until next week. Next week or the week after, we'll see if we squeeze an episode in to bank for next week because I won't be here next Wednesday or next week. So
Well, yeah. Neither of us are gonna, or
yeah, because we'll be away because we'll be away in the beginning and then. But all right, so
we'll figure it out.
until next episode, next week or the week after. Appreciate you guys.
Bye, guys.